I sabotaged my husband's gaming tournament because he refused to help with our newborn. My husband, Jake, 30 male, and I, 27 female, recently welcomed our first baby, Emma, who is now 3 months old. As most new parents know, it's been a challenging time, filled with sleepless nights and endless diaper changes. I'm on maternity leave, so I'm home with Emma all day, but I still need help from Jake, especially during the night. By the way, this comes from Puzzle26615 on the Best of Redditor Updates subreddit. So, Jake works from home and is a huge gamer. He spends most of his free time playing online games with his friends. I've tried to be understanding and give him space, but it's been hard when he refuses to help with Emma at night. He's got to help his squad win those games.
He doesn't have time for kids.
Yeah, come on, babe. I am the leader of my Alpha Squadron.
We're playing COD, babe. I don't have time to coddle a baby.
You wouldn't understand. It's life and death out there, babe. This is just some kid. He can grow up on his own. I've asked him multiple times to take turns getting up with her, but he always says he's too tired or that he has an important game. Breastfeeding has been particularly difficult. Often, the baby struggles to latch properly, leading to painful and sometimes cracked nipple. You don't want that. Ouch. You got to use that, baby oil or cocoa butter?
I don't know.
Whatever you need for, what ladies, what do you use for those nipple cracks?
Ouchie.
Let us know in the chat. I've had mastitis twice already.
Mastitis.
Mastitis?
I think it's mastitis.
Mastitis. Twice already. Which leaves me feeling feverish and in intense pain. Despite what?
You're just going masties.
I was close, I think. Despite seeing me in pain, Jake just laughs it off, finding it amusing. That's no laughing matter. Mastitis would never and should never be laughed at. Kristen Dedu says nipple shields and ointment. Sassy Sin says nip chap. Lily Pilly Willy says there's cream for chapped nips. He never offers help during these moments, even though I'm visibly struggling and desperate for support. One night after I'd been up with Emma for the third time and Jake was still glued to his computer, I'd have enough. I went to his office and asked him to take over so I could get some sleep. He waved me off. Get out of here.
Get out of here.
Saying he was in the middle of a game and that I should just handle it. I'm sensing some misogyny.
My misogyny senses are tingling. Yeah.
You're on maternity leave and free all day while I have to work, so I need time to relax. You're just sitting around doing nothing all day. I was exhausted and on the verge of tears. I needed his help, but he was completely dismissive. And in a moment of frustration and desperation, I walked over to the router and turned off the Wi-Fi, which not that bad.
Not that bad. Not that bad.
I thought she was going to go and smash it. Like, that would have been worse.
Turn off the router.
Like, she's like, I need to have a conversation with you.
Yeah, and she's also being, like, neglected, and she's probably lacking sleep, is in pain, is frustrated.
And even she's like, hey, I realize I was not in the best place when I did this. Like, she's even feeling bad about just turning off the Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
That's when Jake completely lost it. He stormed out of his office, screamed at me. Apparently, him and his friends were in some sort of online tournament, and they were about to win when I unplugged the Wi-Fi. He called me selfish, irresponsible, and accused me of sabotaging his one form of relaxation. He went on to say that I had no right to interfere with his me time.
He doesn't get me time. He doesn't get that much me time when she's taking care of the child full time.
I mean, she just needs
a minute. She needs help.
She needs help. And she doesn't ask for that much.
No. And he hasn't given any.
And that I should have waited until he was done. I calmly explained that I needed his help and that our baby was more important than his game. He refused to listen and continued to berate me, adding that I haven't even been having spicy sleep with him and that we've only had spicy sleep 4 times since Emma was born. He accused me of wanting to take everything away from him while doing nothing all day and sitting at home on my butt. Jake never helps during the day either, even after he finishes work at 5 p.m. I don't expect him to help during work hours, but once he's off, he should be stepping up as a parent.
Yeah.
which I think is fair. I think it's
Yeah.
like you guys are both working
Yeah.
during the workday. And then when you both are home, yes, like there needs to be time for relaxation for you both.
But I think there's
But
also
what-
an expectation that like when you are a new parent,
You're
you're gonna
both in
lose.
it.
Yeah, you're gonna lose some sleep. You're gonna lose your me time. You don't get to just go play with your buddies whenever you want.
And regardless,
You're a new parent.
all right, like let's just say he believes, he was doing everything right, all right? When your partner goes up to you and says, "Hey, I'm exhausted. I need help taking care of
listen
our
to them.
child." If you're a good partner and a good parent, you're going to do something.
Yeah.
Like I can't imagine my partner being like, "Hey, I need help with the baby."
And be like,
"Not
nah,
my problem.
playing video games.
Play video games. My work was done way back at the beginning. I shot my shot, and now it's on you, babe."
Ridiculous.
Ridiculous. Instead, he goes straight to his games, leaving me to handle everything alone. Since then, he's been sulking around the house, barely speaking to me.
God.
To make matters worse, his friends have been sending me nasty messages, calling me a crazy wife and saying I'm unreasonable.
Oh, now he's probably ranting to his friends like, "Oh, my wife is insane. She won't let me play anything."
Do any of them have children?
They must not. Or if
Also-
they do, maybe this is how they act as well.
All right. Maybe I don't remember the ages, if we got ages at the beginning, but this feels like a young, like I have to believe
Possibly
it's a young marriage
couple.
because this is so immature.
Incredibly.
Like to not be taking care of your child.
No, incredibly
like this.
immature.
Also, don't you want to take care of your kid? Do you not feel any obligation?
I guess not.
Or maybe he has old school values where it's like, "Ray, I'm
She
taking care of
has
my
to take
kid, he's
care-
doing my
yeah.
job." Chibi Lee says, "Where is her me time?" Exactly.
No, he doesn't want to give her because he is not prioritizing her at all. It's all about him.
Like, I think maybe when a kid gets older, there's less full-time attention that needs to be there with a kid.
Yeah, but when you have a newborn baby,
It's all consuming.
it's all
Always like the
like
whole
they
thing
never have
is like,
sleep.
yeah, you have like
Yeah.
the joke is you get no sleep and it's torture
Yeah.
for like the first couple of years.
Yeah.
One of them even suggested that Jake should leave me because I'm too demanding.
God. Yeah, and now his friends are telling him to leave his wife and newborn child.
Dude, I hate these guys.
I hate him.
I
Hate him.
these guys. I feel like I'm losing my mind here. I am too. Just trying to get a bit of support. I'm exhausted, and all I wanted was for Jake to step up. Jake, get
Come
off
on,
your
Jake.
games.
Come on,
Be an
Jake.
adult.
Ridiculous.
Be a father. Where are you?
Where are you?
I'm sorry. Instead, I'm being painted as a villain for wanting to help with our newborn.
No, not a villain. Not a villain. You literally turned off the Wi-Fi. Like, boo freaking who?
Yeah.
Get over it. I'm
Come
sorry.
back to the real world, husband.
I just can't imagine getting that upset over turning off a video game.
I mean,
Even if you're in a
it
game.
was his tournament.
I don't even care.
was
Unless
his
he's getting
tournament.
paid for that.
It was his tournament.
I don't even care. Why
Yeah,
is he in
unless
a
he's
tournament
bringing-
when he's a new father?
Because he's got a game.
He's got to.
Also, like, this doesn't feel like the most relaxing environment. Like, you said you
No.
need to relax. And,
Yeah, you
like,
said you need me time. You're
a
hanging with the boys.
high-stakes tournament. Yeah. Also, yeah, when is she getting her me time? I'm also curious, like, what do you think should be the expectation if you have someone working full-time and someone being a full parent? After 5 p.m., what do you feel like the expectation is for each partner? Obviously, this guy should be taking care of his kid, but, like, what do you think is the ask here if she is trying to stay in the relationship and it's not like a instant divorce? If she's like, hey, like, he's actually good besides this gaping red flag that I see right in front of me, and wants to stay, like, what do you ask for? And then if that doesn't happen, maybe, we go to divorce. Tia says, divorce now. He's never going to change. Michelle D says 50-50. So 5 p.m., 50-50. That's what feels right to me.
I think so. I think she's been taking care of and when you have a newborn, you can't just like go take a shower when you need to. You can't go to the bathroom without
it's all you're like. Yes, the
Yeah.
baby is sleeping maybe sometimes, but the baby also doesn't sleep that long when it's a newborn baby. That baby's waking up like
Crying.
every 30 minutes, and also just like the all-consuming thing of like just suppressing all of your needs for
Yes.
another being like that's. It's just
I think
hard.
it's much. I think it's harder than almost any job if you were full time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, also like there's. I mean, I don't know what kind of
Like,
job this guy
childcare
has,
is
but
so
childcare
hard.
is often more demanding than maybe the average job.
I think so. As someone who's like babysat, and done like I worked at a unnamed coffee shop. It was much harder to babysit. Not saying that it wasn't fun, but it was like 5 hours. I was like running around for 5 hours, and also like you're like on. You have to be on and watching and aware.
Yeah. Sophia's done the babysitting. She knows.
Mm-hmm.
Also, on the note of how old everyone, Jessica Hinckley, thank you for the reminder. He's 30. She's 27. So he's not even young enough to get taken off the hook.
Mm-mm.
Not that he should be, regardless of how old he is. Said I'm being painted as the villain for wanting help with our newborn. Am I the a-hole? We do have edits. We do have updates. But is OP the a-hole? And also, every time I hear a story like this, and I hear am I the a-hole after an obvious, it makes me sad. Yeah. It makes me sad because this woman has been convinced that this is normal behavior. Mm-hmm. That like her husband can completely shut her out of his responsibility. Yeah. Like his responsibility to take care of this kid. And he's just like, no.
Yeah. He's like, no, it's me time.
It's me time.
And then he gets all of his friends to harass her. So she's already probably like, she has no sleep. She's exhausted. She's in pain. And now she's getting text messages saying that she's crazy.
That is
and that
over
she should get
the
divorced.
line.
That's
that
ridiculous.
is over. Even if he believes that he is right.
Yeah.
To
that's
have your
still
friends
over the line.
harass your wife is insane.
Well, the thing that he could have done, if he thought he was right, he could have gone to her and said like, hey, that was over the line. Yeah. Let's have a conversation about this. But no, because he's in the wrong.
This isn't one of your COD chat rooms where you can just yell slurs and stuff at the top of your lungs and have all of your friends gang up on the one girl in the chat. No.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, you see how those I've seen the videos of those chat rooms.
Those chat rooms are
They're like, make me a sandwich. I love the videos where the women are like just, killing it, annihilating. And all the guys are like, make me a sandwich. And she's like, no.
And they just like can't comprehend. Marguerite says OP is so not the a-hole. I think all of us agree, not the a-hole. It seems like chat agrees, not the a-hole. Lily Pilly Willy says, hell no. Margaret says OP is so not the a-hole. Alicia, not the a-hole. Of course. Jellybus says treating her like she's video game fodder. Nurse Aaron says she is so much not the a-hole. He is, though, and his friends. Yeah. Yeah, this also feels like something systemic. It's like not like a single issue. This is like something that feels
this is his
like
beliefs,
these are deep-seated beliefs. But we got an update. For those of you saying why I married him and didn't I know this before, Jake was completely different before Emma was born. He was supportive. He was understanding. This behavior is new and shocking to me. Edit 2, to all those calling me an a-hole, I'm sorry.
Who's calling OP an a-hole? Gamers?
Yeah, dude.
The
they
gamers
don't understand the game.
You don't get it. How could you do that?
Also, something that like scares me about marriage is that like just like someone can change.
Someone can change
like just like on
that's why I think it's like really important too. I mean, like we see a lot of stories where people get married after like a year of knowing each other, and I'm like, I don't think you can know someone until you're at least like
I feel 3
years in.
I feel like I haven't really known my significant others until like 2 years in. Yeah. And then like all of the like I think you just see who someone like really, really is at the 2-year mark. And then also if you travel with them. My parents say like don't marry someone until
you've been on a road trip.
I think road trip or third world country. Yeah. Either one of those, like tight quarters, just like camping or in a van for multiple weeks. Like can you there's going to be conflict that comes up. Can you get through it?
Can you push through it?
Can you push through it? And
so I went on a 3-month trip with my friends. Still friends with them.
Yeah.
Doesn't always happen.
I went on a month trip with my ex-girlfriend, and she's an ex. We found out.
And there you have it. It works. Tried and true.
Every time. My parents traveled for months through Europe and India. Married for 27 years. More than I am old. 36 years.
Mom got married a year before you, no?
They've known each other since 89.
Yeah, but I think they got married.
They got married the year before, but they've known each other since 89. Okay, so
Yeah, so like 28.
Like how long have they known each other?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
35 years. Quick maths. We got another edit. So to all those calling me an a-hole, I'm sorry. Your words cut deep and I feel more hurt than I can express. I didn't turn off the Wi-Fi out of spite or because I couldn't handle my responsibilities. It was a desperate act after feeling completely unsupported and alone. I feel like I'm drowning in guilt and sadness. This time with Emma has been incredibly challenging. I'm constantly exhausted and in pain from breastfeeding. All I do is cry because I feel like such a failure.
And I feel like this is like when you have a partner who's going through this, like such physical change, you need to be so supportive. It's hard. And I mean, you're not going to be perfect, but yeah, she is a single parent.
She's a single parent. Like
she's a single parent with a really bad roommate.
Maybe he's providing a check. But yeah, single parent, bad roommate.
Yeah.
But roommates subsidizing the house.
Yeah, that's it.
Nurse Erin says, okay, this is making me very worried postpartum. I don't know if I would even like potentially. But it's like I would be miserable if this was my partner. I would be miserable.
No, as you said, like obviously it could be, but yeah, it's like
anyone would be super
correlation,
sad.
Causation kind of thing.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Like, no, it's just this guy is terrible.
This guy is terrible. All I do is cry. I can't anymore. Jake works hard and I appreciate him, but his indifference to my struggles makes me feel so isolated. I spent my days and nights in tears, wondering if I'm failing as a mother and a wife. Well, maybe the postpartum is making her not realize how bad the situation is for her.
Like putting it even more, yeah.
All I've wanted is for us to share the responsibilities of parenting, especially during those late nights, feedings, and diaper changes that leave me feeling so drained. I've been struggling with feelings of sadness and guilt, wondering if I'm failing as a mother and wife. It's not about controlling his downtime. It's about needing his support during this incredibly tough time. I wish you can understand the depth of loneliness and frustration I've been feeling. Your words about me being selfish and mature hit hard because I've been questioning myself, honestly. Dang it,
Don't
Reddit.
listen to Reddit.
I never wanted to play the victim or make Jake out to be the bad guy. All I wanted was for us to work together like a team. Like we promised each other when we decided to start a family. I'm sorry if my actions hurt anyone, including Jake and his friends. I was overwhelmed and at a breaking point. I'm trapped in a cycle of guilt, feeling like everything is my fault. I never wanted to hurt anyone. I just don't know how to cope anymore. I'm not trying to be selfish. I'm just trying to survive.
The fact that anyone, including OP, thinks that she hurt her husband and his friends for turning off a game.
They're playing a game.
And also his friends were still able to play. They took one person out of a game.
Cheryl Dye says she needs a therapist and a divorce lawyer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like the fact, like, I'm debating, do you go straight to divorce? He's not even trying to communicate. He's not even seeing how far she's being pushed.
Yeah.
And
still is blaming on her. I just think, to me, it's the fact that he got his friends involved is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's whack too. Edit 3, a lot of people are saying I am making breastfeeding a huge deal and millions of moms do it too. But mastitis isn't just a minor inconvenience. It's excruciating, throbbing pain that feels like shards of glass stabbing into my breasts with every suckle. Oh, my nipples are hurting now. Oh, Jesus. Sometimes the pain is so intense that I cry silently while Emma feeds. And I have to bury my face in a pillow just to muffle my cries because Jake has made it clear that my suffering is a nuisance to him. Oh, this is sad.
This is really sad. You are a single parent. Like, it's like when people say, don't divorce for the kids. He's not doing anything. He's providing a check, which you would still get if you divorced.
Oh, OP, this sucks. He says he's either working, gaming, or sleeping. So I should not disturb him. Where in there is it parent? Where's parent? Because parent should be in there. You said you were going to be a parent.
Yeah.
And some people are saying that even if this happens to me, then what the F should be done here? Do I expect him to grow a breast and feed Emma? Reddit.
I hate
Reddit.
Whoever's commenting this.
Like, who's doing this?
And also a lot of times, mothers will like pump a bunch of stuff and then you'll have extra milk left over, in which case he could feed his baby, could warm it up. I'm sure there's tons of things that he could be doing. Could be, getting her water, could be getting her food, could be making her more comfortable while she feeds the baby, could be taking the baby immediately after.
Is there a way to make him see what's happening?
I mean, if she's already tried to have a conversation, he's not listening. I don't know. Like maybe the divorce conversation will shock him, but I don't know what else.
Yeah, I mean, like if
you're not
divorce
seeing
is going to be hard.
Pain, yeah.
But I feel like I don't know if he's going to get it.
Yeah.
If that doesn't happen, I'm curious what you guys think. Like, what would be best for her? Doesn't seem like she has such like a bunch of like a support structure.
No.
But I mean, it feels like divorce is the best option. But we'll love to know from you guys. So, do I expect him to grow, breast, and feed Emma? No. I'm not expecting him to do that. I just want him to support me. He never offers to help during these moments, even though I'm in tears and desperately in need of support. Mistress Lida says, not the a-hole. Spicy sleep 4 times with a 3-month-old, considering that one is not supposed to have intercourse at all during the first 6 weeks due to infection. He is not painting himself in a pretty light here at all. And BFan72 says, as soon as he brought up the lack of spicy sleep, it showed who he was. If you told him that you wanted spicy sleep, he would stop gaming when he came home. This has to do with you not catering to his needs. You need to really think about if you want your daughter to be raised in a house where her father treats her mother badly. Remember that his kids learn what is acceptable behavior in relationships by watching what their parents do. Is this the kind of relationship that you would want your daughter to have?
Ugh.
It is sad. It is sad. I feel like when you're in these kinds of relationships, you have to get out, but it's like, you want to learn how to avoid getting into these things in the beginning. I think often these situations are actually there's a lot of people are constantly signaling who they are.
Mm-hmm.
People are constantly signaling who they are.
And I mean, like, I think as when you're in a relationship, when you see those signals, a lot of times we ignore them.
Yeah. And they're usually small.
Yeah.
The signals of who someone is are usually small. And
you're
like
easily excused away by you.
Yeah. Yeah. Because like, oh, it's just like, this happened as a small thing. Like it's probably nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But usually what they are they are indicators of larger dynamics that will happen in a relationship. Yeah. And so like, for example, is this the kind of guy that won't help you if you need something to be picked up,
mm-hmm.
right? Like, oh, like, hey, can you pick this up from the laundromat or something, right? Like, would he do that for you in the relationship? If that's something that he would never do because he's busy gaming,
mm-hmm.
then is that behavior going to change when you have a kid with him? Probably not.
Yeah. I also think like, does he, like one example is like, does he get you flowers? Not saying that every person has to get someone flowers, but is he doing those small, like, is your partner doing those small, and this goes both ways because this is something I would do. Like, is your partner giving you things, is like thinking about you.
Yeah.
And did you see a change from, is it like, were they doing that and then that stopped, Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's really, it's like you kind of want to stop it at the source. I feel like OP has to get out of there as soon as possible. But I think like the lesson is to like people getting into relationship is really like listen to what this person is doing through their actions. Your gut.
Because
Yeah.
And sometimes don't let infatuation blind you from the red flags that your gut is telling you about.
A thick booty will blind many a people. So beware. Beware of the thick booty. Sarah Beto says, leave him with his child. No. That is a terrible idea.
What? No, take the child.
Take the child.
I mean, he's not going to take care of the child.
Come on. But birthday, Anon says, that was a part that really sent it over the top for me. What kind of person complains about only getting their little spicy hot dog wet 4 times since their baby was born just 3 months ago? Doing the math makes them look even worse. Most women are not physically, mentally, emotionally prepared for any kind of spicy sleep for at least 6 to 8 weeks after creating an entirely new human being from scratch. So either he's complaining about only having spicy sleep 4 times in a month, which is a ridiculous complaint, especially with a newborn in the house, or he pressured her into resuming spicy sleep immediately after giving birth. Neither of those make him the victim. And Popular Bonus says, and the mastitis, it's a crappy man who enjoys spicy sleep with women in pain. Z Eldapin says, Saturday morning, put some bottles in the fridge, put the baby on Jake's chest, and it walked out the door come back 8 hours later and asked him how sitting around on his butt all day was. Forewarned mother-in-law that this is happening so she doesn't come and rescue him.
The thing is, I wouldn't feel comfortable
leaving.
And if you don't feel comfortable leaving your child with your partner, it's like that person's not a partner. They're not a parent either. I think both parents should be able to look after their child effectively on their own.
Chicken Waffle says, yep, my friend did exactly this to her ex-husband, and he was very helpful after that. She left him for other reasons, but stopped real quick. Chance Internal 5450 says, husband quickly learned the hard struggle when after baby 3, he was the stay-at-home parent and I wasn't. Boy, how our relationship really got tighter than ever. Even though it was tight before. OP replying to some nasty daily comments, I understand your perspective, but it's really not that simple. Yes, I'm home with Emma during the day, but caring for a newborn is incredibly demanding, both physically and emotionally. Jake works from home, which means he's here, but he rarely helps with anything beyond his work or his games, even on weekends when he's not working. He's glued to his computer, gaming with his friends. He never changes diapers, dresses her, or even comforts her when she's crying. It's not just about the physical tasks. It's about feeling supported and not shouldering everything on my own when I'm already stretched thin emotionally and physically. I'm not trying to make it sound like I'm the only one making sacrifices. I appreciate that he works hard, but I'm also working hard to care for our baby without much help. Yeah, I think that's the issue here is she appreciates what he's doing.
And he doesn't appreciate
it at all.
He
does not appreciate or understand what she's doing.
Mm-hmm. Or even want to understand, it seems.
Yeah. But I'm also working hard to care for a baby without much help. It's exhausting and it hurts to feel like I'm doing this alone. I just wish he would see how much I need him to be present, not just physically here, but emotionally too. It's not about throwing tantrums. It's about trying to get through each day without feeling completely overwhelmed and unsupported. A Girl Has No Game says, OP, don't listen to this person. They are an idiot and an a-hole. You're not being selfish by asking your partner to also parent his child. You're on maternity leave, not vacation. Caring for a newborn is hard work, contrary to whatever this walking trash can believes. You are 3 months postpartum. You're struggling with breastfeeding. You're sleep deprived, vulnerable, and frequently sick, and your husband doesn't help and laughs at you when you're sick. Who does that?
Yeah.
He's putting your child at risk. He's putting you at risk. You are overwhelmed and exhausted and doing it all alone. That's when accidents happen. Jake is the bad guy. He is 30 years old, and he should be able to balance work, free time, and caring for a child. Instead, he only cares about himself. There are hundreds of fathers around the world who love gaming, work, and still parent their children without complaint. You are drowning, and your partner is watching you and laughing about it. Do you have a family? Any other support you need to reach out and tell them what the heck is going on? Where are Jake's parents in all this? Does his mother know he leaves you to do everything by yourself so he can play video games? Respectfully, F Jake.
Mm-hmm.
And F his friends. Mm-hmm. He is an adult with responsibilities. He doesn't get to sit around acting like a teenager.
Exactly.
Again, you are 3 months postpartum. Your husband doesn't help, laughs at you when you're sick, and justifies not helping because you haven't had spicy sleep with him since you gave birth. Please leave. You can stay with your family because this cannot go on. It's going to affect your health and the health of your child. Not the a-hole, but you are doing a disservice to yourself and your child if you stay and let Jake act like this. Yes.
Yeah, good commenters. I do think that there's probably like tons of terrible commenters, but I think also OP might just be focusing in on those
because
she's already
mentally
feeling
at.
that. Yeah.
But yeah, OP, like find
not at all your fault.
Yeah, not at all your fault. And what you need to do is you just need to find support anywhere you can.
Anywhere,
so reach
like
out
friends,
to friends,
family,
extended family, and start like with separation and some divorce proceedings. Stay with someone else that you can.
Yeah.
Just like get out of there because Jake is going to be mentally draining you.
Yes. Agreed.
They Made Me says, I'm a dad gamer and stay at home dad gamer. Simply put, kids come first. I stopped playing games where I can't really control when I walk away unless the kids are in bed. Also, you had a baby with a man child. You all need to pick better partners to have kids with already. There's no way this type of crap just sprung up. That's kind of what we were saying earlier. Yeah.
There's got to been signs.
He has been this way since the beginning and you chose to ignore it. It's really sucky because you and this kid deserve so much better. But come on, you knew that your husband was like this before the kid. I'm sure he barely helps with house duties, never mind child/baby duties. But no, you aren't the a-hole. Baby comes first, plain and simple. And OP responds, I wish everyone could be like you. It's incredibly tough when the person you thought would be there for you and your child isn't stepping up. I feel so lost and alone in the struggle. All I want is for us to prioritize our baby and work together. But it's been a constant battle. Thank you for understanding that the baby comes first. It means a lot to hear someone else recognize that. And the judgment, not the a-hole. Obviously, but we got an update. We got an update. But yeah, I agree with both those comments. I feel like both of them were like the first one was like first of all, F Jake and like get out of there. It's like kind of giving the power back to OP where it's like, hey, yes, it might feel hopeless. Yes, it might feel like you have no support, but think about what you were just saying with like, I think she was saying something about like mother-in-law, or no, I think that was one of the comments, but
I think it was,
But I think like, think about what your extended family look like. Think about what his extended family looks like. See if you can lean on them for support.
Is there anyone
out of there? Just like get out of there and try to seize a little bit of your power back.
Control, autonomy.
But yeah, he does suck. And also I think going forward, really try to pick better partners.
I mean, I think it is kind of against the second commenters. I think sometimes there is a switch between before childbirth and after, because it is like a big change in a person's life. I'm sure there are some red flags, but I think sometimes it is also just like a big switch up.
Yeah, no, I yes, it can happen, but I feel like most of the time you have indicator like.
Sure.
Like it's very rarely do you have someone completely change.
Yeah.
It does happen for sure, but very rarely does that happen. Usually it's like a slow.
Well, yeah, more so I think like sometimes it's just like little things. And then when you have the child, it's like.
Oh, it's big things.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. The things that were little become big.
Yes.
But update 2 days later. So first I want to say I initially posted this just to find out if I was wrong for sabotaging my husband's tournament. I ended up sharing a lot of context, and I never expected to receive such an outpouring of advice on other issues. But oh my God, your responses have been the best thing that has happened to me lately. Your words have had a profound impact on me from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much to all the mamas, dads, and everyone who offered their wonderful advice and educating me on postpartum depression. Y'all in the chat saw this early.
Yeah.
Also, I love when we got a comeback story.
Yeah, she's like, you know what? You guys were right.
Sad.
Me too.
I was getting sad.
I want her to get out of there, and I want her to be happy.
Yeah, me too. And it seems like
maybe on the way to that.
Yeah, the internet's giving her a little fuel.
Pep.
Little
pep in her step.
Fuel in the fire. Let's see. So after reading everything, I immediately booked an appointment for the next day, and it turns out I do have postpartum depression.
Wow.
I'll be starting therapy soon, and my doctor has suggested joining a support group. I'm still considering it. I never thought I'd be saying this to random strangers, but I love you so much. You've turned my life around. Thank you so much to everyone who informed me about tongue ties. What's that? I went to see a doctor for this as well, and it turns out my baby has a minor noticeable tongue tie.
I thought
that was causing all the latching issues.
I thought they were saying that she had a tongue tie. So tongue tie is when I actually am I think I am tongue tied, which is why I basically I got braces and then my teeth moved and I had to get Invisalign and they figured out. So it's basically when your tongue, it's like I don't want to just like show my tongue, but there's an attached part of your tongue to the bottom of your mouth. It's like, So some people don't have that, or a lot of people don't have that, and so you can move. You have like more mobility in your tongue. But when you're tongue tied, it's like less mobility.
So that's don't have a latch?
Sorry?
You don't have a latch on your tongue?
What do you mean a latch?
Are you tongue tied or without the tongue tie?
I think I'm tongue tied. That is my recollection. Please correct me if I'm remembering incorrectly.
But Ming Ming says, good job, Reddit.
I'm gonna
shout out Reddit. I've scheduled an appointment later this week to get that corrected. Without your advice, I would never have known, and it would have continued to be a struggle. So yesterday, I was feeling so depressed, crying all day. But today, everything feels so much better.
I was right. Yes.
Kara says the frenulum under your tongue stops it from moving a lot. If you have it, when you poke your tongue out,
I I don't want to. Well, no, I think yeah. I remember I had to go to like a speech therapist because they were gonna.
What?
There is a.
When?
In college, because this is when I was going. So my orthodontist was saying like I had to get Invisalign because my tongue had pushed my teeth forward, so they were like going out.
So can you not stick your tongue out?
No, I can. I can.
So then what
But
can you do?
It's so the position. So it's hard to explain, but it's just like it just affects the mobility. Like I don't have as much mobility in my tongue because it's tongue tied, and so.
Why would I not be tongue tied? Would I not?
I don't know.
Maybe I'm tongue tied.
You might be, but basically there's a little like surgery you can get, not a surgery, but like a little thing you can do where you just cut the tie basically. But then you have to get speech therapy to completely relearn how to talk without a lisp.
Oh.
And I was like, I don't want to do that, so they just gave me an Invisalign and we called it a day.
I mean, it's worked out pretty well.
Yeah, my teeth are still straight, so.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Each one of your comments made a difference. I've read almost all of your advice, though I couldn't reply to every comment. I spent a lot of time reading, and each one touched my heart deeply. Again, thank you so much, everyone. You are incredible. So to everyone who DM me with their advice and resources like books, other subreddits, and websites, I am eternally grateful. I promise I'll reply whenever I get a chance. I saved a lot of comments because the advice was so valuable. I'm amazed that so many people took the time to give me and my baby detailed, thoughtful replies. I'll try to respond to you guys whenever I can, and I hope you all understand. About the spicy sleep thing, thank you to everyone who made me aware that this isn't normal. I had been feeling guilty this whole time, thinking it's already been 6 weeks and wondering why I don't want to have spicy sleep. Jake was gaslighting me into believing that my spicy sleep drive should be normal after 6 weeks and guilting me for not wanting to have spicy sleep.
God.
Each of the 4 times we did, I felt very uncomfortable, but I thought maybe it was just me.
Freaking this guy keeps getting worse.
Now that everyone has shared how long their partners waited and husbands have told me how long they waited for their wives to feel comfortable, it made me realize how much I've been pressured unfairly.
Ridiculous.
Also, there were a few gamer people who trolled me heavily for what I did, but most of the gamer parents, especially gamer dads, came forward and shared how wonderful they are as parents and how gaming comes after their child. I can't believe that has to be said.
Yeah, it's like, like some of the trolls are like,
care of my kid over a video game.
No, I feel like the trolls are in the comments like, game before everything.
Yeah, game is life.
Game is life.
Game before life. Game before the life of a child.
Mm-hmm.
The first hour after I posted this, I was harassed badly, especially by this one person. His account has been deleted by moderators now. But after that horrific hour, most people were so supportive and so nice. I was thinking of deleting my post after all the backlash from some gamers and a lot of men agreeing with Jake, saying that it's just because I am on maternity leave. I do nothing all day and shouldn't expect Jake to help because he is working and I am being unreasonable for wanting him to help out more. But thank God I didn't delete it. It would have been the worst mistake. Catarrain says that there's an age gap here. Why is that dynamic so heavy-sided? It's just 27 and 30. He's 30, so it's not like that. It's not that big of a gap. Trust me, guys, it's not just about the advice, but the emotional support you gave me in a day, sitting miles away from me. My husband couldn't even give me that in 3 months being under the same roof as me. That made me feel so much better, realizing how much I needed the support. Again, thank you so much, everyone. I still cry a lot and feel an overwhelming sense of guilt, like a heavy weight pressing down on my heart. There are a few moments where I feel like I'm failing as a mother and a wife, and the pain of those thoughts is unbearable. But thanks to all of you, I feel so much better than before. Your words have been like a lifeline, pulling me out of the darkest depths of despair. Every comment, every message has been a reminder that I'm not alone in this struggle. I can describe the relief of knowing that there are people who understand and care. It's like a warm embrace that I desperately needed. And for that, I'm very grateful. You've given me the strength to keep going, to fight for myself and my baby. And for that, I will never be able to thank you enough. And they have some questions from the people on Reddit that OP answers. And we do have more updates, but this feels like a really great step.
Yeah, it seems like we're going in the right direction. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree. Just getting OP some confidence here.
Yeah. And I think that's what, like, sometimes when I read the first part of these stories, I'm like, oh my God, this sucks. How are we going to find a way out?
Yeah.
And what I love about the internet, what I love about this show, what I love about a lot of these subreddits, including our own, is the internet can just give context you know? And it's not always the best context, but like sometimes it just gives context of what is normal in a situation like this. Like what is okay to ask for? And also like, are you so depreciating your own self-worth that you're accepting behavior that is way below the minimum of what someone should accept?
Absolutely.
Especially in a parent dynamic. Like OP was not getting any support. And so it's really cool to see Reddit kind of unite in helping this person, OP, get a little perspective.
Yeah. I also think when you internalize everything, it makes you feel very lonely. But to me, one of the most comforting things is every individual experience has been experienced by like nothing. No individual experience is unique. As like a whole person, you are unique, but everyone, there's going to be like tons and tons of people who have gone through every experience that you have gone through. If that makes sense.
And like I think in that is like you're just not alone. You know,
exactly.
Most of the people around you probably are. Like, I think there's an erroneous thing that like you believe everyone's more confident than you are, or everyone doesn't have as much anxiety as you do. Yeah. And like the deeper you get with people, the more you realize like that
even the most confident person has a lot of insecurities. Yeah.
Insecurity is like a part of being human. And I think when you venture to ask the world, how are you feeling? You often find they say, hey, just like you. And I think that's a really comforting thing. And I think that's what you can get from doing posts like this, which is really cool. So we have some questions, and it says, how long have we been together? We dated for 1 year and 5 months before getting married, and have been married for about 1 year and 4 months. So a total about 2 years and 9 months.
Which goes into our
2-year theory.
Yeah,
and did you get in a van together? Did you do a road trip?
Yeah. Were there any road trips in those 2 years?
Were there any road trips? Was the pregnancy planned? Yes, it was planned. Actually, his idea.
Ridiculous.
I wanted to wait at least a year after getting married, but he made everything sound so good. Like we would be such good parents, and how we would do stuff together and how happy everything would be. I didn't need much convincing. I got very excited hearing all this and had butterflies in my stomach. But now that I think of it, while we were dating, I remember him saying multiple times that it's his goal to get married and have a kid before turning 30. So this was just a thing
bucket
on his
list.
Checkbox. Emma was born a month before he turned 30. So maybe he was just trying to achieve his goal. A lot of people, mostly men, are commenting that what they believe happened is that we dated for a few months, got pregnant, and had to marry in haste all within the last year. And that's the reason he is going like this. According to them, I forced him into all of this because I am a bee who baby trapped him, and he never wanted to have a kid, but this is far from the truth. How long does my maternity leave last, and is it paid or unpaid? I work at a well-known USA-based company that offers 16 weeks of paid maternity leave. Maternity leave can be extended up to 22 weeks, but those additional weeks will be unpaid. How does my income compare to his? I do make a little more money than he does annually, but also have longer working hours. He usually works from 10 to 5 with an hour break in between, so about 6 hours of actual work. Why did I have a baby with him when I knew he was so into gaming? No, he wasn't into gaming that much before. It was like 3 to 4 hours a day.
3 to 4 hours a day is a lot.
That's a ton.
That's a lot. How much is he doing now? 3 to 4 hours a day is a lot.
That's like he gets home from work at 5.
When do you guys hang out?
Eats, and then games until he goes to sleep. After the baby came, he didn't game much for about a week, but after that, oh my God, he was gaming 24/7, even during meals and work breaks. Once I caught him working on his laptop during his hours and gaming with his free hand. He probably is cutting a lot on sleep just to game. It would easily be 10 plus hours of gaming daily.
Sophia Colon says he's addicted to gaming. Yeah, that's an addiction. 10 plus hours.
That's more than he's working.
Yeah. You're doing it while you're eating. You're doing it while you're working.
That's so much. Does he help with other chores? No. He rarely does. I do all the chores like laundries, dishes, vacuuming. Once I threatened him that he must at least do his own dishes because I wouldn't do anymore. And after that, he got a huge stack of disposable plates, spoons, glasses, etc. Honestly, I use those 2 from his stock because I'm so exhausted sometimes. I do most of the cooking. He'll boil eggs at most, and that's like 2 to 3 times a week. About 3 weeks ago, I was already mad at him because I had asked him to change Emma's diapers if she pooped while I was at my gynecologist for a follow-up. He didn't change Emma's diapers, so I didn't make food for him for 3 days. He ordered DoorDash for all the meals. That's why even though a lot of people are asking me to leave him with Emma for 8 hours, I don't know what condition I'll find my baby when I come back.
No, I literally refuse to have a child with a partner that doesn't know how to cook.
Yeah.
You don't have to be an amazing cook, but if you don't know how to cook,
you just got to try.
Yeah.
It's not about like, it's about just contributing.
Yes.
You know?
Exactly.
If you can contribute, that's it.
So this is just like taking care of yourself.
Like
to a
with
certain extent.
my ex was a really good cook, and I am becoming better.
He's working on it.
I made a pretty good stew yesterday. But what we would do is she would cook and I would clean everything.
Yeah.
And that was kind of our role. She hated she hated cleaning and loved cooking. I was not good at cooking and can't endure cleaning.
But I think even I would go beyond like cooking, cleaning. I think everyone, before you have a child, should have a certain level of cooking knowledge.
So you can provide for that child.
If a parent is gone.
Yeah, I think true.
Every parent should have a working knowledge of cooking.
Persa Greba says he regrets the baby. I don't think the gaming is the problem. It is his solution. Maybe he's depressed because of the baby he doesn't want, like the baby that doesn't want to go to school, or like a baby that doesn't want to go to school. Yeah, I actually think I was watching like a podcast about addiction, and something they talked about is like addiction isn't the problem. It's the solution to the internal emotional turmoil that someone is feeling, right? So he's probably feeling some kind of terrible emotion, and this is the way to numb himself from that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, also something you could do is like also see how he's feeling.
Yeah.
Not that he deserves that, but like if you're trying to figure out like how to proceed, I think starting with how he's feeling, even though he doesn't deserve your kindness or empathy, like I think it might improve the like proceeding towards divorce,
at least co-parenting, even like it's not even staying together. It's just like, can we co-parent?
Life, you know, I was only gone for an hour and a half, and I came home to her crying and soiled while my husband had his headphones on. He claimed he didn't hear her crying. God knows how long my baby had been crying. I felt awful that night and cried myself to sleep, thinking, did she start crying as soon as I left, and cry for the whole hour and a half? I have no idea what I will do after I resume my job, and I barely have 10 weeks to figure everything out. I haven't thought about what to do about Jake as of now, but I'll let you know. A lot of people have suggested that I go to my parents' house or call my mother-in-law, but it would create a huge scene if I did. My parents, especially my dad, are very protective of me since I'm an only child. If he knew how Jake has been treating me and our daughter, he would take me home immediately and get me divorced.
Go to them. They seem super supportive.
Yeah.
Go to them.
And Jake would be in serious trouble. He doesn't like Jake already. And if my cousin brothers found out, I can't even explain what would happen to him. So it looks like you have a support system.
Yeah, go to them.
I'm the only sister in the family, so they're extremely protective of me as well. It's not that I don't want to be with my family or get their help, but I would have to explain the reason, and I don't want to do this to Jake just yet. Many people have mentioned that Jake might have postpartum depression too, because it's unusual for him to change all of a sudden like this. I still want to hold on to hope after reading all those comments about how therapy changed their husbands, and even some dads coming forward telling me how they used to be like Jake and now they have changed.
But I don't think that matters right now. There's no way that he's going to change quick enough, you know, for you to be able to stay in this situation. I think that you need to have some separation.
Yes, completely agree. I think you are not going to feel good and not going to be able to take care of your child in this environment because he's creating this hostile environment for you and your child. So
I think you go straight to your support system that clearly is protective of you. And I think like it's just remembering, like, he's like, oh, well, I don't want to, you know, I don't want to get them, like, I don't want them to attack Jake. I still want to give Jake a chance. Yeah. You've given him multiple chances. And I also think it's time to also think about
Give yourself a chance. And also like,
but also your child. I mean, and you, it's like very fairly so cannot take care of this child alone right now.
Yeah. And I'm not saying like Jake, like I'm not saying you, because it sounds like she doesn't want to give up completely on Jake. And I'm not saying you have to do that, but I think Sophia's right. You do have to get out of this environment, and maybe what you can do is like once you get out of the environment, it's like, hey, like it seems like you might be going through postpartum depression.
Yeah.
I think you need a therapist. I can't be with you right now
until I see that change.
Until I see change. I really hope you get the help that you need.
Yeah.
And I think that feels like the best way to leave. It's also empathetic. It's empathetic to yourself, empathetic to baby, and empathetic to him, right? Because he's not
going to change until he's shaken.
Until he's shaken a little bit. I really do think like he might have the ability to change. Like I don't want to write him off for not doing that, but you don't need to be there and
to see that change.
Yeah, to see that change or to carry the burden of that. Chibi Lee says she needs to leave her. And even some dads coming forward telling me how they used to be like Jake and now they've changed. However, 2 to 3 dads also DM'd me saying they are like Jake and told me to run as far as I can. One of them said,
they're like, yeah, I do this too. You should probably leave.
One of them said he ended up his 6-month-old baby when he was crying. Another said he shook his baby, which, that is one of the signs of postpartum depression.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this terrified me. Jake is behaving awfully, but I think he would never do something like that. But after reading all of this, I don't think I can leave Emma alone with him.
The thing is that regardless if he'd go there, he's already put your child in danger by letting her cry for who knows that long.
I'm crying writing this, but I want you all to know that when Emma grows up, I will make sure to tell her about the kind strangers who helped her and her mama in such difficult times. I'll tell her about the people who, even from miles away, reached out with their hearts and lifted us up when we were at our lowest. The tears I shed now are not just from the pain and exhaustion, but also from the overwhelming gratitude I feel for each one of you. I'll forever be grateful for your kindness and compassion, and I want Emma to know that in our darkest moments, there were angels who came to our rescue. Thank you for giving us the strength to carry on. I'll try to keep all of you updated on how things progress, sending love and gratitude to each and every one of you. And edit, many of you are urging to call my dad ASAP and get this help. Agreed.
Yes.
Trust me, I understand why you're saying this, but there's something you should know about my dad. When it comes to me, he's incredibly hot-headed and protective. If my dad, brothers, and uncles find out about how Jake has been treating me, they will definitely go after him, and it won't end well. I'm scared they will face charges or worse, and what they'll do to Jake. I mean, that's a support system right there.
Yeah. We'll go to bat for you.
Even if Jake decides to get therapy and changes, my dad will never let me try again with him. There's no way my family will allow Jake back into my life. Maybe good. Once they know everything, it hurts every day when I have to hold back tears while talking to my mom, dad, and other family members. It hurts to lie to my parents, to pretend that everything is perfect when I'm actually falling apart. Sometimes I break down while on calls and I have to cut the conversation short, lying that Emma woke up again so they don't hear me crying. You don't know how much I want to tell them, how much I want their support, but I'm terrified of making a decision there's no coming back from in such haste, but you need to tell them.
You need to tell them.
I fear making a decision in haste that leaves no room for redemption or reconciliation. But this isn't haste. You've been thinking about this for a while and he's shown his colors.
Yeah.
Tell Papa Bear and have that grizzly go on a rampage.
Agreed.
But we got some relevant comments and possibly another update.
Whoa.
So Smeaghead says, seriously, leave him. Let your dad do what he will. He's not going to get any better. Good luck. And Good Focus 2665 says, agreed. You gain nothing by protecting Jake from your father. You'll gain support and much needed rest if you tell your dad. They are more likely to help you with the kid than Jake. And Fair Strawberry 6709 says, honey, it's a big booty red flag that your dad already doesn't like him. Your dad is the person to call right now. Please, I say this from experience, he will not change without a harsh reality check. And even then, he will only change if he wants to. Go where you actually have support. Call your dad.
Yep.
And the Thistle123 says, absolutely this. Be with people who love you and Emma. It's time for you both to get some peace. We have an update a few hours later.
Yeah, no, I think you have to immediately go to your parents.
It's only been 5 hours since I posted my last update, but they have been enough to knock some sense into me. You guys are right.
Woo.
I'm being an a-hole and not prioritizing my baby, so I need to get out of here ASAP. Oh my God. I read the comments and I'm overwhelmed. I'm crying hysterically again. Jake even shouted from the other room, asking if I could keep it down. You're right, he won't change. He's so insensitive. Realizing how foolish I've been has hit me hard. You all made me see how stupid I am for not leaving Jake and going to my parents, and how I am putting both Emma's and my lives in danger. The thing that moved me the most was when you told me to imagine if it was Emma being treated like this, would I want her to keep quiet or tell me what's happening with her? That hit me so hard. I can't bear the thought of her going through what I'm going through. I've decided to talk to my family tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. I need some time to think about how much to say to them so the worst doesn't happen and my family doesn't end up in jail. They love me a lot and have been protective of me since I was a little kid. I also need to find and upload all the recordings from the CCTV cameras to my laptop, which will help me with custody if we end up getting divorced. I need time to figure out the recordings and CCTV stuff, so I'll probably call someone for help. I'm thinking of doing this discreetly when Jake is sleeping because I'm scared he might completely lose it. I know he probably won't even notice since he mostly sleeps between gaming and doesn't come out of his room. But then again, I've been an idiot about so much stuff already, so let me know if I should do it another way. Please, if there are steps other than recordings and important documents I should take before telling my family and leaving, let me know, because I know once I leave, I won't be coming back. And Ming Ming says, send them the post. Send the parents the post, the family.
Yeah, and then you don't have to this is already verbalized for you.
I know I don't reply often, but I read your comments and I promise I'll try to reply when things are better. But please, I only have a little time and don't want to mess this up. You guys have scared the heck out of me with the possibilities of what could happen. You all are saying Jake will unalive the baby and I'll end up doing a funeral for my baby. Please don't say stuff like that. That's a very cruel and mean thing to say. I've already been so depressed and crying, and now it feels like I'm drowning again. Please, please, please stop saying that. It's very insensitive, even if you're saying this, so I would ask for help and leave Jake. Secondly, I know you must be thinking, why does this woman cry a lot? She's always crying and she's pathetic.
Hopi.
But I don't know what's happening to me. All I do is cry, and I wasn't like this before. I cried very little before giving birth, to be honest. I'm just very overwhelmed.
You're burnt out, and you have PPD. We've already established this.
To those who are saying bad things about my dad, calling him a psycho control freak with anger issues, trust me, it's nothing like that. He's actually a very calm person, but he is very close to me and extremely protective. Since I was little, he gets very protective when someone raises their voice at me. He's not a bad person. He just cares deeply about me. Thank you all for your support and advice. You've opened my eyes, and I'm determined to make things better for Emma and me. P.S. Emma just woke up, and now she is staring at me with her big blue eyes, and she isn't even crying. Maybe she is trying to say something. I don't know. Even this is making me break down in tears. I am back from where I began. I'm going crazy. I can't believe, looking at her tiny hands, her little fingers gripping mine, that I was being such a blindfolded, idiotic bee who was going to jeopardize my baby's life. The guilt and shame are overwhelming, and I feel like the worst mother in the world. And Pride of Cape Town says, okay, Mama Bear, I understand this is probably the hardest thing you've ever done, and there's a million emotions/thoughts running through your head. But step one is schedule a breakdown 6 to 8 months or a year from now. I'm not trying to be flippant, so please forgive me if it comes off that way. You absolutely have to go through all your thoughts and emotions, but schedule them for later. You have work to do. Like Kenny Rogers said, don't count your money when you're sitting at the table. There'll be time enough for accounting when the dealing's done. Birth certificates for you plus Emma, any passport/citizen docs, remove him from your bank account if he has access. Lock down your credit cards, your credit/credit cards. And that is where that story ends.
I really
OP,
hope. Yeah, I hope you get out of there.
Get out.
Mm-hmm.
Get out. You have depression.
Mm-hmm.
All you need to do is just give the word.
Yeah, just tell your parents.
Just tell your parents, give the word.
And then you don't have to deal with this.
Yeah. It sounds like they love you enough that they'll get you out.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. That is the end of that story.
Man, these two stories have been a little bit of an emotional doozy for me. Are you? I'm a little
sad.
I'm a little
This one was
emotionally
sad.
worn out.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I don't know if the other ones are happier.
Really? Is it gonna be back to back?
Let me see.
Can we please like
I didn't
do something a little
pick the order.
happier? Because my little
Let's
heart
see.
heart hurts a little bit. But that is where this episode ends. So if you love us, make sure to subscribe.
We love you.
And see you tomorrow.